day and night. I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind.
What is going on, guys? Victor here with a brand new video. It's been forever since I made a video. I'm very sorry, guys, with this whole entire COVID-19 thing. Things can get pretty busy for a good amount of us, so I'm finally back making a video, and at the most perfect time possible. UFC 251 goes down this Saturday from Abu Dhabi Fight Island on Yas Island over in the Middle East. You guys know that it's sizzling hot over there. The weather probably averages around 110, 108 per day, which is absolutely crazy. I know they've got the octagon on the beach, but the fighters barely use it just because of how hot it is outside. You don't even have to be out there for a minute to start sweating. That's how bad the humidity is. It's more of a tropical climate, so most of the fighters are liking it. Some are not, just because of everything that has to be done while at Fight Island. Most of the fighters have to go to Las Vegas, quarantine for about 24 hours. After that, take their COVID-19 test. If they pass, get on the plane, 15 hours, Abu Dhabi. As soon as they get to Abu Dhabi, they take another COVID test. Then they have to quarantine for 48 hours. Yes, 2 days. It's ridiculous. You can't even leave your room. The only time you can leave your room is to get a swab done. To get yourself tested for COVID-19. That's basically it. After the 48 hours, you can basically roam at your leisure all around Yas Island. There is a 10 square mile radius for the fighters, only for the fighters and people that work in the hotels, the restaurants, the beach, everything over in Yas Island. So let's just talk about the main event. Jorge Masvidal stepping in on 6-day notice. Let's be real here. He's been training for a very, very long time for this opportunity. This fight was supposed to go down earlier in the year, but it ended up being called off because Jorge wanted his money. He wanted the cash. He wanted everything that he was promised from the UFC. He wanted the money from the live gate. He wanted the money from the audience, from the venue, etc. He wanted all that money. UFC didn't want to give it to him. You guys know how Dana is. He's pretty hard most of the time, but apparently they had one more talk over the last weekend, and Jorge Masvidal, his agent, and the UFC were able to come to a compromise, and they finally got the deal done, which is why Jorge Masvidal was able to step in for Gilbert Burns, who tested positive for COVID-19 on 6 days' notice. Now, even though Jorge has been training for this fight for a long time, it's still going to be a risky fight because both these fighters have power, especially when it comes to striking. When it comes to power, I'd have to give a tie to these guys just because they're both powerful individuals. You can see it on Usman's on his physique, for crying out loud. The guy is stacked. He's extremely strong, and that's why when he usually gets guys onto the ground, he doesn't really let go of them. The same thing basically happened when he fought Tyron Woodley. He kept on taking him down, and Tyron just had a really hard time getting back on his feet. Now, Masvidal is definitely going to be working on a lot of his takedown defense. He was working on Bo Nichols, who's a multiple-time NCAA champion wrestler from Penn State University. He was working with them during his training camp. So Masvidal's definitely been working for this opportunity for a very long time. And he knows if he wants to have some success in this fight, he can't afford to be getting taken down at any moment during the fight, especially because of all that mass muscle that Usman is definitely going to be weighing on him if he does get him down. The key to success for Masvidal is not only just getting his takedown defense and defending the takedowns, but it's also making sure that the fight is on the feet. Masvidal's a highly skilled striker. He used to be a kickboxer before he officially made his MMA career. Usman has not. To be honest, if you were to give someone striking advantage, it would have to be Masvidal, like I just said. Usman, he's got power. His striking is really well. It's pretty crisp. He works with Henry Hooft, who used to be a kickboxer of his own right back in the day. So it's not like Usman doesn't know how to strike. It's not like he's on the same level as Colby. You could have obviously seen that with the fight that both those guys had last December. Usman's got some good striking, but it's not on the same level as Masvidal. Obviously, Usman's the better wrestler. Usman's going to try to go in for the takedown. He's been saying that he really wants to punish Jorge Masvidal. He really wants to knock him out. He wants to get him out of there fast, but I don't see that happening. Usman's not a well-known guy when it comes to knocking out his opponents. He's not well known for his wrestling, so he's going to try to wrestle in there. If he can't, it's going to happen on the feet. He's going to try his absolute best in order to capitalize his opportunities on Jorge. But Jorge, he's a different man. Ever since he came for those 3 straight losses, he lost to Damian Maya. He lost to after that he lost to Stephen Thompson, and before those 2 losses, he ended up losing to. Who did he end up losing to? I think it was just those 2 losses in a row. I can't really remember who he lost to before those 2 guys, but Jorge, he's a beast. He knows what he's doing, and he came back with a vengeance after those 2 losses to Damian Maya and Stephen Thompson. He was out for a whole year. He reinvented himself, and now he's new and improved. Basically, TKOing or KOing his last 3 opponents. Darren Till, he KO'd him in the 2nd round, or the 1st round. One of those 2. He KO'd Ben Askren in the 1st round, and he TKO'd Nate Diaz, controversial stop because of the bad cut over his eye, which happened in New York City for the BMF belt. That happened at the very end of the 3rd round. They didn't want to go for another 4th or 5th round. So Jorge's just been on a roll. He's fought the more quality opponents than Usman has, which is another advantage that I definitely give to him. But this is going to be an amazing fight, guys. It really is. Obviously, Jorge's the massive underdog right now. I think he's a 3-1 underdog, which is pretty absurd just because of the body of work that he's put on from the past 2 years now. But I don't know. It's just insane to me. But Usman's not a guy to be playing around with, especially if I were Masvidal. So if I were Masvidal, keep it on the feet at all times. Get him out of there as fast as possible. If I were Usman, I wouldn't really wrestle that much just because if you're going to wrestle Masvidal, he's definitely going to try to get back up. And if you keep on taking him down over and over and over again, you're only going to exhaust yourself, not only your body, but your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, your whole entire body's going to feel tired. And you're going to leave yourself vulnerable in the later rounds if you're trying to get all those takedowns. I don't see the same situation happening in Jorge that happened to Tyron Woodley when Tyron ended up defending his title against Usman. But it's just a crazy fight. It can go any way possible, which makes it such a great event. I'm happy that Burns. I really shouldn't say this, but God forbid me for even saying this, but I'm kind of glad that COVID got Burns because I really wasn't trying to watch that fight. But Burns is recovering pretty well. He does have a couple small symptoms, and he will be back as soon as possible. So Burns, recovers as soon as possible, and maybe he might get the winner of one of these 2 guys. Jorge says he wants to fight Nate Diaz and defend the title if he does win, and then Usman might end up fighting either Leon Edwards or Gilbert Burns if he ends up winning. So it's an intriguing situation all in all, but I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I'm sorry I had to wait this long to make a brand new video, but this was the perfect opportunity. UFC 251 that goes down this Saturday, Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's 8 hours ahead of us in the U.S. So these fighters will be fighting very early in the morning on Abu Dhabi on Yas Island, but it will go down streamed, broadcasted here during the night. So you guys take it easy, and I might come back with one more video by the time that UFC 251 goes down this Saturday. So you guys take it easy, take care, stay blessed, and see you guys later.